Hello and welcome to the lecture series on urban transport planning, subject code 17CV751. So moving on to the module 2. So in this session, we are going to learn about types of surveys, and we are going to be discussing in detail with respect to home interview technique. Moving on to the content, so we'll learn types of surveys, what exactly the travel pattern and how many types of travel pattern we are going to be having it, and home interview technique, review questions and references. So moving on to the types of surveys. So why do we need the survey? So as in the previous sessions also we had explained the importance of survey. So in order to assess the existing traffic and travel characteristics such as the travel pattern, or initial what we say the origin and the destination zones identification. So all these data are going to be selected for as a study area to estimate the present and future travel demand. So hence different types of surveys are going to be required to get different information to complete a project work. Then the analysis of data which has been collected from the various types of surveys is extremely useful for preparation of future transport planning. Moving on to the types of surveys, we are having so many types of survey. So first one is road inventory survey, classified traffic volume survey and outer screen point, origin and destination survey, household travel survey, speed and delay survey, parking survey, pedestrian survey, bus transport survey, intermediate public transport survey, truck operator survey, establishment survey, and goods survey. So these are different types of surveys we are usually practicing to have the traffic and a travel pattern has been concerned. So first one is a road inventory survey. So road inventory survey includes identification of a road network, then the existing condition of the road, surface characteristics. All these details are going to become under road inventory survey. Moving on to the next type of survey, that is classified traffic volume survey. So this survey will going to be helpful in classification of types of vehicles which is been moving on the road, then also to know the percentage composition, peak hour traffic, etc. So usually these are going to be concerned about the screen point, so or the screen line for our study area. Moving on to the next type of survey, that is origin and destination. So trip generation or to get the OD matrix, the origin and destination survey is going to be helpful to assess the percentage of trip generation from one origin zone to another origin zoning. Moving on to the next type of survey, that is household travel survey. So this is going to be the trip which is going to be generated considering residential area to any other land use pattern. So those are going to be surveyed by conducting household travel survey. Moving on to the next type of survey, that is called as speed and delay survey. So this is speed and delay survey. So if are concerned about a network from a zone A to zone B across the length, or how many number of stoppages we are going to be providing. So what is an average speed we can cover it from reaching a zone from A to B or origin to a destination, considering amount of delay it is going to be occurred throughout our journey. So it may be a signals or the junctions likewise. So all sorts of delays are going to be accountable. Hence the speed and delay survey is going to be concerned as a part of surveying. Moving on to the next one, parking survey. So as we know that, so vehicles are not going to be moving at a 24 hours. So it needs to take what parking. So at particular, say for if a person want to move from what say residential area to commercial area, so he need to park his vehicle. So the parking survey gives an idea about the parking lot, the size, then what is called as the loading or the occupancy rate which is going to be required to design a network. So hence parking survey is also going to be a part of type of survey. Moving on to the pedestrian survey. So as we name itself indicates. So how many pedestrians are going to be crossing at a particular junction or to have a particular walk path. So this type of survey is going to be more accountable, and is also going to be accountable for designing of signals has been concerned. Moving to the next type of survey, that is bus transport survey. As the name itself indicates that it is going to be a public mode of transport in which how many numbers of buses are going to be having a journey from one zone to another zoning, or how many number of trips it is going to be making by considering a depot. So this bus transport survey is going to be giving an idea about the frequencies and number of stoppages to be provided for a particular network. Moving on to the next type of survey, it is called intermediate public transport. So as we know that if you are going to be having a different modes of transport has been concerned, so intermediate public transport is also going to play a vital role. Hence, what exactly the other mode of public transport as an intermediate connecting other modes has to be taken into account. Moving on to the next one, our truck operator survey. So in this truck operator survey, so we are been having a questionnaires to get back the feedback from the truck drivers. So how many length per day they are going to be making use of it for a complete network. So what are the facilities available, the restroom to be required, or if they want fueling station, so are motels likewise. So all these informations can be gathered by conducting truck operator survey. So it is also a part of willingness survey, so they are also going to give some feedback for the improvisation because they are having an idea about the travel pattern and also the facility to be provided throughout the network. Next is establishment survey. So it is how to establish a particular project is also going to be part of it, and last one is going to be the goods survey. So among this, the first road inventory and classified traffic volume is plays a very vital role because depending upon all these things, so major decisions are going to be taken into account. So coming to the travel pattern, so previously we had surveyed, so what exactly the pattern usually the traffic movement is going to be taken into account. So basically there will be of four types. So first one is internal to internal, so that is I to I. Next is internal to external, that is I to E. Next is external to internal, that is E to I. And last one is external to external, that is E to E. So how we are going to be classifying all this travel pattern? So in the previous one we had given zoning and cordon line. It means for a particular study area, so whatever the pattern of a screen lining, so depending upon the zoning, so we are being classifying the travel pattern. So more clearly we can understood in the next slide. So just look at this image. Okay, so in this image, so the thick line is going to be called as an external line. So this is going to be boundary of our study area. So this dotted line is going to be a screen line. So it divides into the zones. So within our study area, depending upon the zones, the travel pattern can be analyzed. So moving on to the first one, that is internal to internal, I to I. So just see here. So origin point and destination point are going to be within the two zones, are going to be within our external cordon line. It means the travel or the origin or the destination lies within the boundary of external cordon line. So such travel pattern are going to be called as internal to internal. Moving on to the next one, internal to external. It means so origin is going to be within our external cordon line and our destination is going to be outside our external cordon line. So just look at this zone. So origin is going to be lies inside our external cordon line, destination is going to be outside our external cordon line, hence it is going to be internal to external travel pattern. Next one is external to internal, that is a reverse of internal to external case. It means the whatever the traffic it is been originated outside our screen line or external lining, so it goes inside our study area or external cordon line. So such traffic movement or a travel pattern is named as external to internal pattern. So moving on to the last one, it is called external to external. So just see here. So our origin and destination are going to be lies outside our external cordon line or study area. So these type of travel pattern are going to be called as external to external. So these goes give you an idea about the travel pattern for the particular study area. So as I explained, the types of travel pattern for a larger urban area, it is going to be internal to internal travel is heavy, whereas in the small area having a population say less than 5,000, the internal to internal travel is going to be insignificant. It means when you are going to be concerned about the small area of the population, so usually travel pattern is going to be somewhat insignificant. Moving on to the next statement, the internal to internal travel is best studied by home interview technique. So in later we are going to be discussing in detail about home interview technique, which is going to be checked by screenline survey. The external and internal and external travel can be studied by cordon survey or cordon line survey. The internal to external travel can also be surveyed by home interview technique, because as the name itself indicates, internal to external is going to be surveyed by home interview, because home is going to be always lies within our study area, and the travel, the person which is going to be making a trip is going to be with maybe within our study area or external cordon. So hence it is a best practice to have internal to external travel is surveyed by home interview technique. Moving on to the movement. So usually it is going to be divided into the through traffic or through movement. Stopping in the town or an area is defined by the external cordon line. So as the name indicates that sometimes the through movement is going to be taken place, or it's going to be stopping in a town is going to be best defined by external cordon line. That is a zone, it is going to be demarcating internal and external zoning. And next point is going to be non-stop through movement. It means there is no stoppage, so directly the movement is going to be from external to external, that is non-stop through movements. The survey data can be collected. It means this travel pattern data can also be collected at the home, that is by conducting home interview survey. Next, during the trip, it means it may be a roadside interview where a person is going to be traveling. We can put a question, where is going to be origin, where he is going to moving ahead, that is a destination point. Hence the data is also going to be collected by what we say roadside interview, that is during the trip. Next, at the destination end of the trip, that is when the journey is going to be completed, so there also we can conduct the survey, we can gather the information. It means we can collect the data in three stages. One is at the home, next during the trip, that is a starting point or in between, and at the end, that is destination of the trip. Moving on to the next one, there will be of different types of survey that are usually carried out to get back what is going to be called as the travel pattern analysis or the trip generation has been concerned. First one is home interview survey. So as the name itself indicates, the questions are going to be so prepared, and we can put the questions to a residential person to gather the information, and that information is gathered in home. Hence this survey is named as home interview survey. Moving on to the next one, it is called commercial vehicle survey. As the name itself indicates, we are going to be concerned about the commercial vehicle which are moving on our road network or the study area. So detailed information or the data which is being collected through a survey only for the commercial vehicles, so that type of survey is going to be called as commercial vehicle survey. Next is the taxi survey. So it is a part of what is called as a public transport or a private transport. So in between, if you are going to be using as a mode of previously what I have been explaining, that is a IPT, intermediate public transport has been concerned. So in some part of the time, the taxi survey is also going to be a part of it. Hence a detailed survey about the taxi, that is what is called as the distance traveled. Okay, so what is the delay timing it has been occurring, what is the base fare. So likewise, frequency of the taxis which is been available within our study limit. So all these informations are going to be gathered by conducting taxi survey. Moving on to the next one, roadside interview survey. So previously I had explained the travel pattern or trip generation. So at the trip we can get some information. So this is the technique that is called roadside interview. It means we are going to be prepared a question we can ask by the interviewer. So by the roadside, it means the vehicles are going to be taken away from the main line and we can use the questionnaires and we can get the data. So such type of surveys are going to be called as roadside interview survey. Moving on to the next one, it is called postcard questionnaire survey. As the name itself indicate, so questionnaire formats are been printed in a postcard. We are just posting into the residential addresses. They can give the feedback or they can answer our questions and we can get the answers or the data. So that printed format through the postcard, if you have been using it, so that method of survey is going to be called as postcard questionnaire survey. Moving on to the next one, it is called registration number survey. So by considering the registration of a vehicle, so by entering into one cordon line to the existing inside our study area, or it is been passing through any other cordon line, just by what we say tracing the number of vehicles with their respective registration number. So such type of survey is going to be called as registration number plate survey. Next is a tag survey. So in this tag survey, the special coded tags are going to be stick to a particular vehicle at one particular study area. So then collecting the respective tag at some other zones of our study pattern. So this type of survey is going to be called as tag survey. And last one is public transport. Usually the public transport, where I previously explained that a bus survey. So in that the public transport survey is going to be carried out. Namely, we are going to be getting the information by conducting a specific purpose, specific type of survey is going to be conducted. So just have a glance. So it's going to be home interview survey, specific to get back all the details with respect to residential area, trip generation pattern, commercial vehicle. So it's only getting the information from the commercial vehicle. So these are going to be different types of surveys we are usually carried out to get back the travel pattern and trip generation for a particular study area. Moving on to the first one, that is called home interview technique. Okay, so home interview survey is one of the reliable type of survey for the collection of origin and destination data or trip generation. So as I explained, it's more reliable because previously the surveys are going to be conducted the road or whatever the thing, it is not going to be give complete idea because in a hurry or a worry, so they may answer, they may reluctant to give some answer to the question. So peacefully, if you are going to get the complete information, home interview technique is going to be more reliable. They are because they are going to give a complete trip pattern from origin to destination data. Moving on to the next point, the survey is essential intended to yield the data on the travel pattern of the resident of the household and the general characteristics of the household which is going to be influencing for trip generation. So the statement is clear. So from this survey technique we are been getting the exact travel pattern and also the characteristics of a household which is going to be giving an influence for the trip making purpose. That is, home is going to be origin, so the person may going for the shopping, or from the home the person may going for what is say purchasing, that is for the commercial activity, or if the person who is going to be intended for what is called as the recreational, so from home to recreation. So the entire information or the characteristics which is going to be necessary for the trip generation is going to be gathered by conducting home interview survey. Moving on to the next thing, the information on household characteristics is going to be including dwelling unit, that is how many peoples or populations we are going to be surveying. So number of residents, it is going to be there for every dwelling unit, their age group, then sex, also the vehicle ownership, number of drivers, family income, and so on. It means a complete information of how many populations which is residing over our study area or a zone, how many number of residents, how many number of dwelling units we are been having it, what is their age group. It means, so depending upon the age group we can say how many persons are going for school and colleges, how many are going to be employed, so how many workers are there, so how many are going for the what is called as hospitals or any other purpose. So depending upon the age group, so we can have a complete analysis. So next is the vehicle ownership. So depending upon the income, size of the family, how many number of vehicles they are been having it, so also how many number of drivers they are having it, that is having a license for maybe for two-wheelers or the four-wheelers, so depending upon their family sizes. So these informations are going to be gathered by conducting home interview survey. Moving on to the next point, based on these data, it is possible to tolerate the amount of travel to household and zonal characteristics and to derive an equation for trip generation rate. It means we are going to be having travel pattern intended for the travel and zonal characteristic. It means what is the type of zone we are been having it, that is based on land use. So we can derive some equation for trip generation. That we may use some linear regression or multiple linear regression to predict what could be the zone where the potential is going to be higher. Say for example, so for a zone A, from zone A to zone B, say for zone A is going to be residential, zone B is going to be industry. So if we concerned about the population of zone A to how many number of industry workers they are been moving from particular area, so there we can have a linear equation with respect to population and what is going to be called as number of workers which is going to be there for particular industrial area. So likewise we can generate numerical models or the equation so for futuristic predictions. So as we know that collecting of a data from the household is going to be somewhat laborious work and time consuming. It requires more manpower and also more timing because the family size is going to be or our study area is going to be bigger. So we can minimize, so we can give some sampling rate so that we can get the sample and we can get the data for our analysis purpose. So depending upon this one, there is a table. So this home interview survey minimum sampling rate is going to be based on population. So just first one, under 50,000 population, so it is recommended family size or the sample size is 1 in 5. It means for every 5 we are going to be interviewing one person. So minimum sample size is going to be 1 in 10 household. Similarly, if it is going to be 50,000 to 1,50,000, so recommended sample size is 1 in 8 or minimum sample is going to be 1 in 20 households. So likewise, so if the populations are going to be more and more, say for example from 1,50,000 to 3 lakh, recommended sample size is 1 in 10 or otherwise minimum sample size is going to be 1 in 35 household. So likewise, so we are going to be getting the information for residential area and depending upon the household, this is going to be the best practice or otherwise it is going to be laborious work. So as we know that in the home interview technique, informations are going to be collected and they are being broadly classified into two types, namely household information and journey data. These classification we can make use for the further study purpose or demanding pattern. First is going to be household information. It means information which is related to the household. It may be address, size of the family, the same thing, structure of the household, income, how many earning members. It means the livelihood standards can be ascertained. Next is the number of occupant, place of work, where they have been working, then number of vehicles they have been owned and household characteristics information contains a detailed about socio-economic parameter, income, economy, living standard, age group, number of family sizes, members, and also the vehicles which is being owned by the household. So this information is going to be more important to have a public transport survey to be conducted, because even though if the number of trips is going to be more in number, but if the person are already using their own vehicle, so this proportion is going to be having an implication over the public transport has been concerned. Moving on to the next data, that is the journey data, means the trip which is being generated from one origin to destination throughout the clock period. So what exactly the trip, how many number of trips they are been making. So this information is going to be more useful to have our peak analysis. And also, so if you want to operate the public transport, what is the frequency to be operated on the peak period, that is the journey data. In a nutshell, home interview survey is going to give a complete idea about the trip generation and also the travel pattern and characteristics. So as we know that home interview technique is the best, so how are we going to start our survey? So there is a format. So just look at this format, the format for home interview technique. So we are going to be trained the trainer who is the interviewer to get back our details from a respective residential area or a dwelling unit. So first one is the interviewer number. We are going to be allocating the interviewer number, who is in a which team, the team number, the date, on which date he is going to be visited. Then supervisor will going to check whether this interviewer and travel team number has gone to the particular study area or not. Then they are going to be entering the details. Next is note for revisit. It may certain times if the interviewers are not getting the complete information from that particular area, so we can recommend for revisit also. Then we can quote the reason for incomplete. Say if the particular household or if the person is not available, if the door is getting locked, it means no information is gathered. So in that cases we can quote reason for incomplete. Then we can go for the revisit and collect the data. This is for office work. Edited date field is going to be checked by. Then again if it is being edited, after the re-editing we can give the coding and we need to check by the supervisor to have complete information or complete form is been filled or not. Moving on to the format. So it is part A, that is on the front sheet of our home interview technique. So as I explained, it is going to be household information. So previously as I explained, in the home interview technique we are been getting the information or the data of household as well as the journey. So in the front sheet we are been getting part A, that is household information. First is registration number of a sample vehicle if applicable. If the vehicle is owned, so we can quote the vehicle number here, their address, survey type. So survey type is going to be which type of survey you have been conducting. Next is going to be the numbers, say 1, 2. So 1 is going to be, is it a house, it is a luxury or going to be having a 2 number of unit. So if it is going to be 2, it means it is going to be self-contained flat. So likewise, moving on to the next one, number 3, it means it is going to be self-contained floor. Okay. Fourth, low cost society. So if you are having interviewing for a very smaller group of a society or lower income section, we can quote or tick in the section number here. Then fifth is going to be resettlement. If the area is going to be resettlement area, so try to tick here. Going on to the sixth one, it is going to be a squatter unit. So if you are going to be getting the information from the squatter unit, so go for sixth one, tick it here. And seventh one is going to be the non-subdivided room. Non-subdivided room means it is going to be a huge dwelling area, in which if going to be more than 2 population, or what we say the 2 residentials are giving, so then it's going to be number 7. Next is going to be 8. It is a subdivided room or a cubicle, okay, a partition wall. Next is going to be 9th, in the any other space if your home is going to be having it. So next is going to be 10th is the hotel room. So if any of this is not going to be applicable, we can put a cross mark so that it is going to be not applicable. Say for example, if you are going to be getting the survey for unit 1, that is a luxury, so just tick it out, it means it is not applicable information is going to be getting. So after that one, the subzone of a night garage or a household tele number. So if you want to have a telephonic number, so if you are missed out any sort of data, so on the later stage we can get a telephonic conversation and we can fill the data. Hence in the part A, so first is going to be depending upon which type of what we say household interview we are going to be getting it. So interviewer address, so likewise we need to fill the data. So in the part A and part B we are going to be getting the information. Moving on to the C, that is house ownership. So, okay, so house ownership means is the house is owned by the member, or it is been staff quarters for the government employee, is it rented for the government or rented privately or other. So depending upon the numbers what we have been giving as a code, so in the section 11 we can enter it. Say for example, if we are going to be interviewing for a particular staff or the quarters area, obviously we can might be of a 2 or a 3 depending upon the information. So in the section 11 we can put this coding, okay. So this information is going to be helpful to segregate the data. Moving on to the D, if it is going to be rented, so we are going to be having 2 categories. It is a furnished one, unfurnished one. So in the furnished one, so monthly rent including the rate. So O means owned, not rented. Y means information refused. Certain times if the person refuses to give the information, we can put Y here. So next is X, it is paid by another person or from the firm or from the unknown. So if paid by the company, so we can put it X, or otherwise if it is been owned, it is not rented, so then here we can put O. So moving on to the next section, that is unfurnished. So depending upon the income rating and the furnishing or non-owned rating, so here it is going to be a category depending upon the rate. So in which category the rate is going to be given by the particular household, we are going to be putting the information in section 30. So in part E, that is number of parking space used by the household. So move on to the next information. For non-car owning household, mark X in each of the boxes. It means if the person is going to be a non-car, he is not going to be having any parking. It means he is not owning any car, means he is not utilizing a parking space. Then we can put cross marks. Or otherwise, if it is going to be having a own vehicle and he is going to be private covered, so put here the information. Or if he's been parking on the public off-street parking, put the tick mark here. Private open ground, so 15th number. Public on street, put the 17th number. So likewise, depending upon the car ownership and parking spaces, these details are going to be incorporated. Moving on to the next one, number of persons in the household. So it is going to be in number. So these informations are going to be filled, that is in the 18th section, 19th section. So how many number of aged persons which is having less than 6 years, it means they are not going to be having any trip purpose or trip generation, because they are not going for any type of schooling has been concerned, not preschooling, schooling has been concerned. Hence, so this is going to be clearly mentioned in section 20. Moving on to the section 21. So persons in work, how many number of persons they are been working, so those details are going to be entered in subsequent sections. So next is the G, that is number of cars available. It means how many number of cars they are being owned or it is been given by private. So those informations are going to be entered in section number 24, that is owned plus other. It means if they are having a owned or if it is been given by the company, so those numbers in total has to be entered in section number 24. So similarly, number of motorcycles available, so how many numbers they have been owning it, so all these informations has to be entered in 27 to 29th section. Moving on to the next one, the day of a week. It means in which day we are been conducting the survey. So in the 30th section, if we are been conducting the survey on Monday, put as a 1. So subsequently put according to the numbers it is been given. So similarly, in the which month we are been getting the detail. So in the 31st section, enter 1 for calendar month January. Subsequently put numbering in section number 31. Moving on to the next column. So in the part A, we are being just concerned about household, what we say, information. So this is going to be part B is personal information. So in the J, we are been having number of person. So person, how many we are been having it. Person identity, so is going to be depending upon the identity. If you are going to be having a number or a door number, just enter here. Then L is going to be sex, it may be male or a female, just enter here. So then interviewed, yes or no, are you taken the information from the concern, yes or no. So is there making any number of trips, put yes or no here. Then he's got any driving licenses, so depending upon the driving license number of drivers, they are having a license, so try to put it in section number 35. Then place of work or education address, so where they have been working, that information is to be entered in section P. Then inventory details, then employment status details to be entered in subsequent sections. So next, moving on to the part B. So we have been having a section S, district of origin of a family. So which district they are belongs to. So try to enter the district. So for the coding has been given here, coding for a person information. So depending upon the languages, male and female. Then household income group. So depending upon the household income, so we can put these numbers here. Moving on to part C, for office use to have trip summary. It means the supervisor, after checking the information, he will give a trip summary here and they will write the space provided in part 1 of C. So with continuation, so industry, primary school, then the school going information or retailing, industry, whatever the format we have been getting it information, just quote their X, Y, so according to the code they have been given. Next, if it is going to be a commercial one, we are going to be having retail traders, wholesale and commerce, manufacturing processes, transport, communication, construction, etc. So depending upon this one, so we can number it from 1 to 5. Next is, if the person is retired, put X or otherwise no for the answer in the subsequent sections. Moving on to the employment status, that is it the self-employed alone or self-employed with number of employees, he is a manager, he is a supervisor, or he is a semi-skilled or unskilled. It means depending upon the nature of a work, so we can give the skilled worker or unskilled worker, or if they have been self-employed or with respect to he is an employee with or an employer. So all these necessary informations are going to be tabulated in respective section starting from 77 to 80. So in this session we have learnt about the types of surveys, travel pattern, home interview technique, formats, details to be collected in the home interview survey. So to have a better understanding, we can have some review question for this session. First question, the trips of originating within the screen line are option A, external to external, B, external to internal, C, internal to internal or internal to external. So as the name it indicates, origin within our screen line are going to be internal to internal. It means option C is correct. Moving on to the next question. The survey method which is adopted for collecting the information about the income, family size, etc. is option A, roadside interview technique, option B, home interview technique, option C, taxi survey, option D, commercial vehicle survey. Correct answer will be home interview technique. Means in the home interview technique we can get complete information about the income, family size, etc. Moving on to the next question. If the traffic movement is outside the cordon line, then the movement is termed as option A, internal to internal, internal to external, external to external, or external to internal. So as the question is traffic movement is outside the corridor, then it is going to be correct answer external to external. Moving on to the next one. The minimum sample size that is required for home interview technique for the population range from 50,000 to 1,50,000 is 1 in 10 household, 1 in 15 household, or 1 in 20 household, or 1 in 25 household. So if the population range is going to be 150,000 to 1,50,000, obviously it should be 1 in 20 households. And next question. By home interview technique, the traffic movement that can be surveyed is options internal to internal, internal to external, or internal to external, or external to external. So as we said that home is going to be the internal part and number of trips it is going to be outside. So hence the correct answer is going to be internal to external. That is trip generation from one zone to another zone or up to external cordon line is going to be getting by conducting home interview technique. So these are all correct answers. References. So for this session we had referred Kadiyali LR, Traffic Engineering and Transportation Planning, Kannam Publisher, TSTCJ, Transport Engineering and Introduction, Prentice Hall. Thank you.